The easiest and cheapest dinner that you're ever gonna make. Let's do it. I've got some water coming up to a boil, and I've got my ground beef right here, so I'm actually only going to use half of this, and then the other half we're gonna use for dinner tomorrow night. But obviously, depending how much you're making, you can add as much meat or as little meat as you'd like. I already mentioned I've got some water coming up to a boil. Now I've got my beef here, and I'm gonna season it up, starting off with some salt, some black pepper, and some garlic powder. And now we're gonna cook our beef until it's cooked. My water is boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in about half a bag of macaroni. Now that my beef is about 95% of the way cooked, we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 cans of tomato soup. I know what some of y'all are gonna say, this is goulash, or whatever other names there is for this. There's so many names for this, but to my understanding, goulash is full of vegetables. There's no vegetables in this. It's just the meat, the soup, and the pasta. So we call this American chop suey or homemade SpaghettiOs, because essentially what this is like a homemade SpaghettiOs. So I've got 1 can that I filled with water, and I'm just gonna pour it back and forth to clean out my cans of soup, and then add it on in. Obviously, we already seasoned the meat, but I like to season it again. I like to season every layer of the dish, so adding some garlic in. And then probably a little bit more salt and pepper. We're gonna let our pasta cook, and we're gonna let our sauce simmer on low and head back to the counter. You can eat that dish as is, but if you wanna take it up a notch, some Romano cheese on top. I was telling you guys how on Thanksgiving I had to by hand grate 4 pounds of cheese for mac and cheese, and a bunch of y'all were like, Carissa, why don't you just get one of these? So I did it. I just want y'all to know that growing up, do you know who was in charge of grating cheese on holidays or for Sunday dinner? Me, okay? So I had my little fingers and I was grating cheese by hand, okay? And y'all were doing this the whole time. This is what y'all were doing. Nobody was gonna tell me. Anyways, this you can actually get on TikTok, so I'll link it in the video down below. I added my cooked macaroni to my sauce, and over low heat, I'm just gonna cook this together as I mix it for about a minute or so. You don't wanna overcook it. So good. So simple, so easy, but so good and really comforting. All right, I'm gonna go and eat this, and then we're making a gingerbread house tonight, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.